Alright, so this video is gonna be a brief overview about bobber and jig fishing. So you don't need too much, it's just simple equipment. Look, I have my box of jigs and some bright and dark colors in there for when it's dirty water or when it's high water. And then yeah, it's in this cool Gamakatsu G box. So it's pretty, I think this is the biggest size they offer. It's like the 10 by 7.5 by 1.1. So, and then item G3 3600 SF. So the 3600 slip foam case. So this product right here is pretty awesome, and I recommend you check it out if you do a lot of bobber and jig, or yeah, just a lot of bobber and jig fishing. This box is awesome for it. This the rigging for this stuff is pretty simple. This is just an egg weight. So this is just for example, but so it's either you use these egg weights, or you end up using these bobber stops. So you can use these all right, here we go. This is the bobber stop. You can just use these. So I like to use these knots most of the time, other than these egg weights, because these egg weights can move. These can move too, or also you can just use a if these break off, or if somehow the egg weights break off, you can also just do a uni knot. You can just use a uni knot and retie a new knot onto the main line if it ever accidentally breaks off, or your line, if this knot comes undone somehow, or if it frays off, or if your egg weight ever just frays off somehow, you can just use a brand new braided line, or I think the fly line backing stuff, or Dacron line, and you can just tie a uni knot, and it'll you can create a new knot for your main line. So the rigging goes like this. It's a bobber stop, or the egg weight stop, a bead, and then I like to use a the arrow floats, the AF -5 5/8 ounce, with like a it's either I'll be fishing a 1 ounce egg weight, or a 3/4 ounce egg weight, or a 1/2 ounce egg weight most of the season. That I'll rig it like this with a bead, and then the egg stop, and then usually it'll just go down to like a swivel. Without you don't need the so it'll go to something like a swivel. You don't need this. I don't know where my swivels are with the without the swivel clip here, but you don't need this swivel clip. It's just for example that I'll rig it like this, and then it'll go down to the egg, a regular swivel. Don't just discount the swivel clip here. You don't need it. Some people can run it with a swivel clip and like a cannonball weight, but I don't like doing that because it just seems to throw off the casting. So you can use this egg sinker, which I like to use it, and just a swivel. Or what most people like to do is they like to run these things called the inline swivels. So these inline swivels. So this new one is a Oregon Tackle, the uni. It's like the uni inline sticker. So it's like a one piece. So this wire inside it is actually going all the way through to the other side of the swivel. So it's actually like a one piece wire. So it's kind of like a super solid wire in place versus some swivels are some inline swivels right here are just molded in place. So sometimes if they're just molded in place here and they're not molded correctly inside the mold, these swivels can just pop off and then you'll lose your fish, or you'll lose it in a snag, or yeah, it'll just break off. So I don't like to use those kind of inline sinkers, but I bought these inline sinkers because of they had that one piece wire. And so these are from Oregon Tackle, and I'm just trying them out. I haven't actually fished them. I was just trying them out. I still need to go and fish with these, but still they sound more indestructible than the regular ones that can pop, the swivels can pop out. So yeah, mainly, yeah, so it goes from that weight to the bead. And also sometimes you can use a bobber stop right here. So in case your inline weight right here snaps and you want to save your bobber, if you put a bobber stopper right here, or one or two, just to keep in place, so that in case when your weight snaps, you can probably still salvage your bobber and keep that and save you like $5. And then yeah, so from that swivel connection, and then I'll just usually I'll run like a 1/8 ounce. So with the 1 ounce, with a 5/8 ounce or 1 ounce jig, I like to run like a 1/8 ounce jig. So 1/8 ounce jig, a 5/8 or a 1 ounce jig. Usually that's like 5 feet to 10 feet that I'll run that jig, because the 1/8 is it holds its place in the presentation really well in the water, and because it always it just keeps my bobber in line all the time, versus like if it was a lighter jig, it would probably be getting swept faster and my bobber would probably like tilt that way because it's too light. But since this, usually I use a 1/8 ounce with a it can be a 3/4 ounce weight, a 5/8 ounce weight, or a 1 ounce weight, and that's the usual combo I'll throw for like 5 feet to like 10 feet. But if it's only like shallow water, like 3 feet, like 2 feet to like 5 feet, then I usually will change it into like a like a 1/8 ounce, or not 1/8, but like a 1/32 ounce. So see, this is 1/8 on my right hand, and then this is 1/32 on my left hand. So yeah, usually that change in size difference will usually trigger a bite. Yeah, so if I'm using the if I'm using the 1/32 ounce jig head or the 1/16, I usually just I don't know, for some reason I still use the 5/8 ounce bobber and it still holds, and I'll change it to like a half ounce for some reason. The half ounce, and the I still fish half ounce to a 3/4 ounce and this bobber, and it still holds up really well in 3 feet to 5 feet. So that's my usual rigging. That if it's 1/32 ounce or 1/16 ounce jig, I still run a like 3/4 ounce or like a half ounce jig. Or sometimes I'll throw this 5/8 ounce jig because it just I'll throw because this 5/8 ounce jig with a 5/8 ounce weight or 3/4 ounce weight still holds in the water very steady, versus when I throw a half ounce, the half ounce seems to be too sensitive and it moves. It moves too much in shallow water. So sometimes, but most of the time I will go, if it's shallow, I go lighter weight. If it's heavier, deeper water, I will go heavier on the weight. But most of the time, that's how I run it. And then so yeah, there's a brief overview about my bobber and jig. There's not too much. A lot of the time spent is learning on the water. So you can rig it, but you gotta go kind of learn how to fish it. And so, because all these rivers are kind of different, so the main reason you can learn to be a better like drift fisherman or a bobber fisherman is literally always coming back down to time on the water. Is when you learn how to catch these salmon and steelhead, because there's you can watch every YouTube video online, and if you don't go there and like cast in the water and like learn the contours of the bottom, or learn that fish are holding by this rock or something, then it's hard to catch the steelhead. So a lot of it is trial and error, and it's fishing. And so yeah, this is my first technique I was learning to drift was, or to fish was, drift fishing or side drifting. And then my second technique that I learned was bobber and jig. And so that those two methods I've caught like 100 steelhead just from those two techniques. And so it's just over the years you learn where the fish hold, and what colors and what kind of what colors they bite, and how small presentations or big presentations that they bite. So just get out there and kind of go fishing for the season. Even it's good to go look during like the preseason. It's good to go check. It's good to see when it's the peak season and you watch people fish, and see where they're catching fish, or go post season and see that there's always fish around. You just have to find the time. It's the right place and right time to go. And so yeah, that's just my brief overview about bobber and jig fishing. And then if you wanted to, you can also, if you were gonna fish with bobber and bait, I would do the same thing with the bobber setup, and then change the leader to like, you know, the leader and the hook to whatever size of bait you're using. So if you want to use eggs, you would use probably like a size 2/0 or 1/0 or 2/0 or 3/0 for the size eggs, like a quarter size eggs or a $half size egg. So, or if you wanted to use coon shrimp, then coon shrimp, I like to stick with like a 1/0 size hook, you know, to a size 1s, or even you can change it to size 2 if you use a bigger coon shrimp, or even if you're running like prawn or something. So it's always good to try different terminal tackle, different hooks, and see what the fish like. And just, yeah, pretty much, yeah, it's fishing. You get to test gear and test tackle, and so that's what it's all about. It's about, you know, trying to go fishing and have fun. All right. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.